Hi, I'm Coach Cary with Finding Your Higher Consciousness. Today we have Nathan, a tarot card reader, a spiritual medium, and a demonologist. I really feel like this is going to resonate with a lot of you guys. So without further ado, let's get started. So without further ado, Nathan, the tarot card reader, welcome. How are you, Nathan?
I am absolutely blessed, man. Every day is a blessed day. Every day is a new day. And when you live in the present, that's the gift. The present is the gift of life. How many times, though, do we look so far ahead and we're so caught up in the past that we miss all the blessings right there in front of us every day? So I look at every day as a new day that I'm able to learn, I'm able to grow, I'm able to love, I'm able to receive, I'm able to give. That's a blessed day, a full day on top of that every day. And then I wake up the next day and I know it's going to be around the same.
Real quick, if you had somebody that was like, Nathan, man, I don't know how to stay in the moment. How am I supposed to do that? Because the stress of life, all the negativity, it's pulling me in so many different directions, and I'm so stressed out. Nathan, how do I stay in the moment? What would you say to someone?
Absolutely. That's a good question, number one, right? Because with many people, everybody does things differently, right?
Mhm.
This can help you, this might help you, this might not. And one of the things that I struggled with in the very beginning of my journey was self-love. I didn't have self-love for myself. I came from a broken background. I felt fractured. So being able to actually love myself was something that was not easy for me to do. And Saint Michael, who is one of my favorite angelics, I absolutely love him dearly. He came to me and he goes, "Can you do this for me?" I said, "What is that?" "Can you name three things about yourself that you love every single day?
Hmm.
Different." And I said, because of ego and pride in the beginning, absolutely not. You want me to open up about how I feel about myself. And
Hmm.
then he left, right? I thought I'd made an angel mad. I was like, look what you just did. You had an angel here to help you. And now he's gone. Week later, he came back and he goes, "How are things going?" "They're not. Things are not going well at all." And he goes, "Do you want to try this again?" "What is that?" I said, before we do, I said, "I just want to say I'm sorry." And he goes, "For what?" "For making you upset and leaving." He goes, "You have free will to choose. Why would I be mad at you? You said no, so I honored your decision."
Yeah.
That clicked instantly for me right then and there. How many times had I negated my own blessings? How many
Mhm.
times were things right there that were meant for me, but I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel good enough. I didn't feel I deserved it. No, not for me. That was my first lesson that clicked in. And then he goes, "Three things you love about yourself." I go, "Okay, I'll do it tomorrow." He goes, "Oh, no, 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 no. Right, right now." I said, "Okay." And in that moment, I understood why. Most people can come up with at least two things right off the bat, maybe three that they love about themselves.
Mhm.
I struggled to come up with one. And he goes, "All the parts of yourself that you despise, that you think stupid, dumb, unworthy, no good, unlovable, broken, unhealable, right?" He goes, "Is that of your own knowing and understanding? Or is this what you've been told throughout your life?" Oh, okay, okay, you got a point. You got a point. And he goes, "Can you try this for me as well?" He goes, "When you start to get overwhelmed, trying to stay in that moment, trying to stay balanced, you have life stress, anxiety, all these different things, right? External factors, all these different things." He goes, "Can you try this for me?" I go, "Sure. What is that?" He goes, "When you start to feel overwhelmed, can you just say in your mind, you don't have to say it out loud. I don't want you to visualize anything. You don't have to do none of that. Can you just say this? I am love. I am light. I am strength. I am worthy." And my response was, "I'm not any of that." And he
Yeah.
goes, "I didn't ask you if you believed it. I just asked if you could say it." I said,
Mm.
"Okay, I will do that." So for the first week doing that, I would catch myself starting to get hard on myself, tear myself down like normally, right? But I would remember, I had to start saying in my mind, I am love, I am light, I am strength, I am worthy. And after a minute of saying that, I felt 100 times better. I didn't understand it. It didn't make sense to me because I was like, how is this working when I don't even believe in what I am saying? How is this working? And then on the eighth day, something clicked. I received that frequency that is in tune with each of those. I am
Mm.
love. I am light. I am strength. I cried, man. I cried. It was the first time I cried tears of love and
Oh.
happiness instead of pain, sadness, hurt, all that I had known. It was a freeing moment. He goes, "That will help you stay balanced."
I,
And
I sorry, Nathan. I want to circle back to that because did that happen when you were 29? when we're going to get
That
to
was
that?
right after a
Oh,
gist. That
okay,
was
so if we can circle back to that because I have some questions about that.
absolutely.
But let's give like a little bit of background with you,
Yeah,
where you grew up, maybe your experience up to the time you were 29 till you had that
absolutely.
awakening, which I know about already, and we're going to talk to the viewers about, so they just can get a little bit to more to know
Absolutely.
about you.
Absolutely. So my family was raised Catholic, very strictly Catholic. And behind closed doors, my family, certain members would be practicing in dark magic, is what my family has done. They've been doing it for a very, very long time. At the age of 4 years old, my gifts were fully opened. I thought this was normal. I was a child. I was sheltered a lot. They didn't have me out with a whole bunch of sheltered. Um, I didn't understand my gifts. I was able to see spirit. I was able to communicate with spirit. I was able to manipulate the flames, working with water, different things. I didn't understand. I thought this was normal. Everybody could do this, right? No, not at all. And there were certain members of my family that wanted to utilize me for darkness. I rebelled
Mm,
against it from the earliest I can remember. My childhood was very abusive. My childhood was very much the darkness for me. It was very much of a darkness. I did not have angels around me that I saw. All I saw around me all the time was what people would call demonics, infernals, lower energy entities, basically. These things terrified me up until about the age of 15. Um, all the abuse is also what stemmed a lot of these things to be in that environment. When you have fear, anger, sadness, and pain, those are the four main components that will bring that in. And that is what they will start to then, as they would say, feed off that energy and that vibration. At the age of 15, something kind of clicked. And instead of having this fear, it became, if this is all that's around me, I'm going to figure and learn everything about you, how you work, why you work, and then most importantly, how to remove you. And that's exactly what I started doing. At the age of 21, I started to break away fully from my family, my
okay.
mother specifically. My mother that is something that I had to accept, that I finally fully accepted probably over the last year, is that this woman will never love me. And that's okay. I'm okay with that now. I'm 40. It took me a long time to be able to go, why do you not love me? What did I ever do to you?
So,
But
did you ever do anything specifically to heal that part of yourself and accept her for who she is, that you could explain to people how you
yes,
did that?
absolutely. Absolutely. You hear a lot of people talk about inner child work. I'm sure that will come up a
Yeah.
lot, healing the inner child, right? A lot of times, what I have realized with people when they're going through that is they're having to relive these moments, these traumas. That can be a detriment to somebody healing versus it being a positive.
Okay.
And I've directed it around where you already been through the experience. You know what it felt like. You don't need to go through that again. So I did a technique where I would see the younger version of myself, like looking in a mirror, right? I would see the younger version of myself looking back that would look broken, fractured, hurt, scared. And I would explain everything that I know now to them. This is how you prevent this from happening. It's okay. You're okay. Everything's going to be fine. And it took me quite a few sessions of doing that. And it started to really then break that. It led to the root of why was I seeking love in a place that I was never going to receive it.
Hmm.
And that it opened up. You have a wife that loves you unconditionally for you. You have children that love you unconditionally for you. Two different types of love right there. Plus a community that loves me unconditionally. Three different types right there. Why are you looking in a space that you're not going to receive it? And when I was able to have that click, it released instantly. And don't get me wrong, there's still days that I'll think about, man, it'd be nice to have a conversation with my mom. That would be amazing. But I'm okay with it not. Now I'm okay. Before I was able to do that, it caused problems. It would cause problems through emotional problems from not being able to handle, let's say, anger or being able to handle sadness or being able to handle these swings of emotion to get caught into it. And I learned, Nathan, it's okay to feel the emotion,
Hmm.
stay in it, feel it, process it, and then release what's needed.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that approach. I did something very similar where I just looked at a more simple way, but the circumstance of my life that I can't change. And for me, a
Right.
really difficult one was my divorce when it happened. And one of the most challenging things I think that most people struggle with is visualizing the person that you love being with someone else.
Right.
very painful, very, and I addressed that like from day one, man. I would visualize it, I would feel it, and it was really hard at first, right?
Right.
But you do
Absolutely.
it a couple times and you're like, oh, I'm at peace with that. I can release that. It no longer holds dominion over me,
Absolutely.
and that's what I really would love for people to get however they can from your process, from working with me, from someone. Just there's so many opportunities for people, and I want them to be able to have their eyes open so they can see them,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
That's
That's
the
the whole
important
thing.
part.
That's the key, man. Because, and I tell people, I can give you every tool that you need. I can give you the answer of all answers that you're seeking. If you're not willing to receive it or you're not ready to, then I have to plant the seed and move on. It might be a day, it might be a week, it might be a month, it might be a year. But at a point, that seed is going to get watered. I did my part. They're going to come back. And they go, can you help me? Absolutely. I know you're ready. That's the, and like I said, man, I enjoy being able to sit down and have this conversation with you because, like I said, I've seen a little bit of what you do, and you are such a positive light. You really are. You're a positive light. You have a great message behind the stuff that you talk about, and you help people genuinely.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. From one person to another.
Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Let's circle back to when I know we were around when you were 15, but
Yep.
let's go back to when you were 4 and
Mhm.
you started realizing these gifts that you had. Can you tell us what those gifts were?
Yes. So I would see spirit clear as day like you. Clear as day. They would look transparent, see through in a type of way that's how I could differentiate
Okay.
to a person or not, right? They would speak to me. I would hear them externally at times that say, hello there. They would say my name. And at first that would frighten me. You hear a voice that's a disembodied voice. It's, not anything really that you want to embrace. And then I started to have what I now know as downloads or messages. But then at 4 years old, it's these thoughts coming in that's not of your own. They're giving you information, they're showing you things. And I would start to fire. I've always been drawn to the element of fire. I work with the element of fire a lot. It is for cleansing, it's for purification. It does a lot of amazing things.
Yeah, we'll definitely touch on that here in a little bit for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
At 4, I was able to start manipulating the flame. I could make it rise. I could do things with it that I thought was normal because that's what I knew in my family. No.
So would you have a lighter and you like click a lighter or
Nope, I would put a candle, light a candle, the
just
candle
light a
would
candle?
be
Okay.
lit, and then I would direct the energy and merge it into mine and watch that flame just rise.
Okay. Well,
And
yeah, we'll
yep.
talk about that in a little bit, but
But that was so if you go through gift wise, if you're gonna go through it like what they would actually technically be clairvoyance, gift of sight,
okay.
clairaudience, being able to hear externally and internally, very clairempathic, absorbing frequency from people, big time animals, which are the best one forms of frequency because animals are unconditional love. That's why so
Yeah.
many people are drawn to them. Their energy and frequency is amazing. Um, Also from environments, the energy, for example, say when you go to Walmart, right? This is Walmart, for example. You can be in an amazing, great mood. You walk through those doors, all of a sudden you're zapped. And you're like, why do I feel like this? Why am I highly empathic, absorbing in frequency and energy? People, animals, environments, and spirit. Four
Yeah.
different ways, right? Clairsentient as well, the understanding and knowing of emotions without somebody having to explain to me, oh, if I ask you, hey, how are you today, Cary? Oh, I'm good, but let's say that you're depressed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
well, I feel you, and you
Yeah.
don't feel good. Are you okay? Right? But that's, and I talk about these gifts. These get everybody has these gifts to an extent. It's
Yeah.
not just me. It's not just certain people that are spiritual gurus, whatever they call themselves. I don't call myself a prophet. I don't call myself anything. I am that I am. I am Nathan here to help those who find me. But all the spiritual, all those psychic abilities they talk, we all have it. But now, do we have an understanding of it, a knowing of it, and how to implement it? That's different for everybody, right? But when you come into like the true certain gifts of telekinesis, telepathy, okay, those gifts, those are real. You can learn those. Is it easy? No, you have to match the frequency. Everything is through frequency. Everything is through frequency. If you are not matching the correlating frequency that's needed, it doesn't work. And that's when people go, well, this is nonsense. This didn't work. I tried. This isn't working. That's like with faith. Faith without works is what? Dead, right? You can say you have a belief, but then you're not practicing that faith. What happens? Same thing with this as well. Goes in the same way.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And we'll maybe in a little bit, once we talk about the flame and stuff, we'll talk about how you can teach people and some more of the things that you do. All right. So 15 years old. Let's
Yep.
circle back to that.
Yeah. 15 years old. I mean, that was when a lot of things changed for me spiritually, was 15. Like I said, leading up to that, I had been through a ton of abuse. Like I felt broken. And going to bed at night, all I would see are these extremely dark, very tall entities. I would see them clear as day. I could feel them. They would terrify me. And I remember walking upstairs one night, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, I was going to bed. And I heard this old woman's voice, clear as day, right next to my ear, go, "I see you there." Terrified me, right? It was an evil, I can still hear it to this day. It was an evil type of voice. And I ran up the stairs, right? I looked, said, "Mom, is that you?" I said, "Everybody's passed out, 3 o'clock in the morning." Go upstairs and I get to the top of the stairs and I hear it again. "I see you there," even louder, right? And I sat there and I went and I curled up under my blankets because that's what I would do. Let me just try and it's not real. It's not real. Something clicked in me. Then it says, "Stop. See what it is. You can see it. You know what it's doing. Figure out how to get rid of it." And that's what I started to do. They would speak to me the same way that I speak with my angelics, my guides, with source. They would speak to me. And I never took anything that they gave me 100% because if you know anything about demons, they're not going to give you the 100% truth. They're not going to give you 100% of anything. They're going to give you what they want to keep you in a controlled type of way. That's where I really started working on my faith, was right there. That was it. Because I understood with Christ and I understood with source of my understanding, God, they can't harm me. But when I
Hmm.
lived in that fear of it's a human emotion, I am just in fear, there was nothing that could prevent that. So when I started to really believe in my faith, one, when I really started to, I knew I was protected. And it just then it started to become okay. These things are around me. You're not going to afflict me. You're not gonna cause me pain and suffering and all of this anymore. And when I talk about pain and suffering, it's from the abuse to I should have been dead probably over 25 different times now. Like it's going back through a lot of this, looking at it, but I'm here and I know I'm protected. I don't walk in fear. That's one thing I've learned more than anything. Do not walk in fear. That is the one thing that if you go through all the ancient texts from the Bible to Taoism to Buddhist to all the ancient writings, what is the one repeating phrase over and over and over and over? Do not walk in fear. Do not walk in fear. And that's what I've held fast to. And from 15 to about 21, I felt broken, man. I was not who I am now. I struggled with alcohol. At I was an alcoholic until almost 29. At 21, they had prescribed me on Adderall for ADHD, which I don't take anything anymore. That almost killed me at 29. That would lead up to that. Was that? And so from age 20, from 20 to almost 30, I met my wife at 28. She saved me. She literally saved me, man. She loved me when I had no love for myself. None. And she showed me what true love was versus what I've been
Hmm.
shown my entire life with my family.
Oh,
And
that's beautiful.
I'm grateful, man. I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
And then at 29, like I said, leading up to that, that's when everything changed. That's life changed completely. I can get into that if you would like.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's a great transition. I have a couple of things I want to respond to that you said, but which you can talk about in a little bit.
Absolutely.
To correlate some of the similar things that are happening for me that I think I could relate that people would really like. That's in the
Yeah.
same way. I mean, it's like once you connect with the frequency, and that's what's happening to me right now. It started about 2 months ago, like really, really connecting and matching, like I talk about all the time, what's on the inside for what I want on the outside. Oh
Yes.
man. It's like every day,
Yes.
I'm like, holy smokes, this is crazy.
Awesome,
So yeah,
man.
let's get to that big awakening at 29, and
So,
let's get to that.
29 years old, I came home from a job. I was working outside and I was vomiting nonstop. Didn't know why. I couldn't stop vomiting. My wife looked at me. I was laying in the bed and she's like, "You need to go to the hospital." I kept telling her, "No, I don't need to go. Don't need to go." I was whiter than the walls that are behind you. That's how pale I got. I weighed 200 and probably 30 pounds at the time, right? She ended up dragging me out, put me in the car. I got into the ER. As soon as in the ER, they told her instantly, like, my pancreas was failing. I was in full pancreatic failure. If she would have waited another hour or two to get me there, I would have passed away in the apartment. It's like that. Terrible. As soon as I got into the ER, it was on the hospital bed. I remember this just like it was yesterday. I remember it vividly to every detail. My soul left my body. I was about 8 to 10 feet above my vessel. I saw my wife. I saw the doctors. I saw the nurses. Saw everything. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs,
Mm.
screaming. Nobody could hear me. Nobody could see me. And before I could even fathom the thought, am I alive? I was gone. You hear a lot of people talk about the proverbial white light that they see in near-death experiences. That's not what I had. I did not have the proverbial white light with me. I didn't have angels on either side of me. I didn't go to the kingdom of heaven. I didn't meet Jesus, Yeshua Zanu, who I love dearly. I didn't see any of them. I went to a place that I now know as the void, which is the beginning point, the first breath, the first flame, first thought, conscious. But in that moment, I didn't know what this place was. It was complete nothingness, was complete darkness, and standing in front of me for the first time ever experiencing who they were is who I know as my fathers, as sourced. I didn't know who they were. Their presence alone was unlike anything I'd ever felt. I was terrified, man. I was terrified. I had accepted this must be my judgment. This must be my damnation, my sentencing, purgatory, hell, whatever you want to call it. Because
Yeah.
up until that point, I was an alcoholic. I was an addict. I felt soulless at a point. Like I felt broken and fractured. So I was like, well, this is it, man. This is what you get. And as I'm standing there, they don't move, they don't speak. But as soon as their eyes locked with mine, it pierced through my soul, man. And I cried out to them, how will you love me when I have no love for anybody, let alone my own self? How will you trust in me when I can't even trust in my own words that I speak? And how will you truly illuminate my path when all I know is the darkness? And as I stood there, I have goosebumps all over me, man, because I remember this so clearly. I was terrified, shaking in front of them. And I was ready for them to do whatever was going to happen. And the one thing I never anticipated happened did. They walked up to me. They lifted my head in their hands. They said, my son, it's been so long since we have seen you. We are so glad to have you back. Welcome home. And they embraced me. I
Mm.
felt the most unconditional love I ever felt in my soul's existence, man. And right there in that moment, I knew God, source, universe, creator, whatever you want to call it. That's you. I want this. And I took an oath and a commitment that I will hold until I pass. And that is something that I've held. I will always hold to that. I woke up 2 days later on the ICU floor. Okay? They had me on the heart floor. I was from my pancreas, right? Like they looked at me and said, you have 7 days. You're not going to make it. Your levels haven't gone down at all in your pancreas. Nothing's working, right? And I looked at the doctor and I told him, I said, I will walk out of here in less than a month's time.
Mm.
I knew it. I knew it. He laughed. It was like staring the devil in the face, man. He's like, you need to rest. And I once again reiterated to him, I will walk out of here in less than a month's time. Okay. Next day, and mind you, I had chaplain, nurses, doctors every 30 minutes coming in, chaplain praying for me, nurses doing all this stuff, right? The very next day, it's like a ghost town of a hospital. Like there's no doctors in my rooms. There's nothing, right? And I hear the same voice that I heard when they said, my son has been so long since seen you. I heard his voice clear as day, and he goes, own up to me all of your flaws. But I act like I didn't hear it, right? Like, yeah, right, like that's gonna work. I heard it again. He goes, owe up to me all of your flaws, my son. I
Mm.
said, oh, okay. Stole candy bar. I've been rude to people. And then he got serious. He said it a third time. Own up to me all of your flaws. It was flunk. And it hit me right in my chest, man. And I was not a good fiance at the time. I wasn't a good role model for my brothers. I was the oldest. I was very selfish. I only cared about myself. Whatever any happened to anybody else didn't matter. As long as I got what I want. I had to go through, take inventory of my whole entire self.
Hmm.
Cried, man. I was bawling. And
I bet.
after all of that, he goes, see, even through all of that, do you not feel my unconditional love for you? Okay, I get it now. I get it now. He goes, do you even know who you are yet? No. What better time than now? You are not what they said you were. Discover you. Okay. And that's where we started at 30. I'm now 40. It's been a beautiful transition. Has it been easy? No. The first probably 5 years were not. I had to learn how to live with what people look at materialistically as nothing, just getting by. But I had everything. I had everything. Yeah. That's
Same thing, dude.
a blessing, man.
Yeah. So do you see the light behind you in the screen? Can you see what that looks like?
You talking about the blue one?
Well, it's the sunlight that's coming in too. It's like it's creating like this crazy. I don't know. It's really neat.
I do see it's a little blurred on mine for some reason. I don't know why
Yeah,
it's like that.
the whole neon lights like looking like there's light going into your head.
Oh my,
Like
it's as long as it looks all right. I just don't want it to look crazy for you.
no, it looks good. It looks good.
Okay.
I think that so many people can relate to what you just said, Nathan, especially with the, when you met your fathers, is that what you call them? Yeah, when you met your fathers and just really being to own up to your hard truths, the hard truth about who you really are and the things that we've done, right?
Yes,
And when
absolutely.
you can really make peace with that, I mean, look at what your life's like now. I just really hope that people can understand that they say, I can't do it, it can't work for me. It's not true. It's not
No,
true.
it's not.
Anyone can heal. They really can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I just to add on to that part for you, before stepping into doing this fully, I was broke, man. I didn't have anything. I would go get plasma twice a week just to make sure that I had groceries on the table, to be able to make sure my kids were good. My wife was pregnant. We had one child, a second on the way. Didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't have any money. I was in the music industry. That's what I thought I was supposed to do. Broke away from that because that wasn't my path. And I've always wanted to help people. And it finally came to that point. When are you going to take a chance on you?
Mhm.
When are you going to take a chance on you, man? Oh, I don't have the money. I don't have it. Who said you need money for this? Be authentic. Be genuine. Be you. Watch what will happen. And sure enough, is the best decision I ever made. It's changed my entire life.
I
Changed
mean,
my entire
that's just truth.
yeah,
Truth from God, man. The
absolutely.
real truth.
Absolutely.
And we're
Absolutely.
so surrounded by so much error and so much falsity and so much
Yes.
negative that we take as truth.
Yes. That's
So
a very good key.
how do we get people to just understand that the truth will set you free? I know they hear that a lot, but so many people are just so stuck in the material world,
Yeah.
you
It's when
know?
they get stuck like that, I've realized I can, it's like I said earlier, we can give them the key of all keys, right? The answer that they've been searching for nonstop. But if they are not ready to receive that, it's going to be met on muted ears. It's not going to be received in as it would. And then all of a sudden, you're going to be the one that's going to be drained, exhausted, feeling like that taken advantage of. My time's not, it was useless. For what? Because I wanted to help you, but you're not ready. I've had to
Mhm.
learn, like, because I have that conversation with my guys all the time. I said, I know I can help them, but they always said to me, are they ready to receive the help?
Exactly.
Okay, I get it now.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
it sucks though, man, because we want to help everybody. And it's like when we see it through a lens that they're not, but that's all you can do is plant the seed. Because like I said, it might take a day, a week, a month, or a year, but at a point, that seed will get watered. You did exactly your part. Because then
Hmm.
they will come back, they will be ready to receive that which is being offered, and then the change happens. That's where
Yeah.
the validation comes in for them, not from us telling them, hey, your life's changing. They see it themselves and they go, this is different. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. They definitely have to be ready. I have a great example. Like my daughter, she did the 42-day process. She did it for me. She didn't do it for her.
Ah,
So she never completed it. She's one of the few people that I've taken it through it and did not complete it. And people be
right.
like, oh, you can't even get your own daughter to do it. I can't get anyone to do it. They have to be willing to do it. And
That's the key.
she told me about 2 weeks ago or a week ago, hey, Dad, I think I might want to try again. And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Because she's a teenager, she's 18, she struggles with stress and anxiety and comparison and all the stuff that
Yeah.
all these young people are struggling with that I really want to help.
Absolutely.
They are struggling like no other.
Yep.
And they're the only thing that they're getting their information from is this.
Yep.
They're looking at their
Yep.
phone and it's destroying them.
You are absolutely correct.
It is absolutely destroying them. And I really feel like it's time. It's time to make a shift for these people if they are willing and they want to.
Absolutely. Absolutely correct. Because if not, I talk about shifts all the time. When people talk about shifts, right? We talk about timeline shifts, for example, right? Few people talk about this all the time. The way I break it down that makes it the easiest, timeline shift is taking yourself from a lowered negative into a heightened positive frequency. That's the shift. That's merging timelines. It's not some science fiction thing where it's all this nonsense. It's people like to try to explain things they don't know. And it's like, it's all about frequency. You're
Mhm.
shifting. You take yourself from a lower into a higher. You talk about the philosopher's stone, right? The philosopher's stone, you are the stone. It's not a physical object we're going to find. You are the stone. You have all ability of turning lead into gold. You have all ability of taking a negative into a positive. But yet
Mhm.
they don't want you to understand these things. They don't want you to know this knowledge, this wisdom. They want you just to accept what you have been given. This is how life is. This is all you deserve. Says who? Not me. I refuse that. I'm okay. I know. I want to be able to help people. And there's no gatekeeping anything, especially with me. I don't do that ever. If I have stuff that I know is going to help people, I will share it with those who are willing to receive it
Mhm.
every single time. I've always did that. We're here to help one another. Not about, hey, let me be at the top and everybody else, this, that. Man, we're all in the collective together, here to do our part to help one another. And when you find like-minded souls like that, oh, it makes it absolutely incredible.
Yeah, and that's why I'm always telling people that I just want you guys to find someone that resonates with you and that connects with you. Use them as an example. Use them as your superhero if you want, just to be like, you know what?
Right.
He is no different than me. He really isn't. He's a human being just like I am, but he has a way of looking at things and approaching life. And I believe that that can help me. And I really feel like there's so many people on TikTok and social media that have beautiful, amazing messages.
Yes.
Beautiful. And there's a lot of nonsense out there too. But that's what's so great about the social media is people can connect with someone like you. They can connect with someone like me. And there's so many ways to heal, but just find one, right?
Right.
And realize that you're worthy and you're worth it. That's what we're here to show these people.
Absolutely.
And it's a true blessing. It really is. So after 29, let's start talking about kind of that
Yeah.
journey.
All right. Well, this is the spiritual journey started, and I at about 30, from 30 to about 35. That's when I was trying to do music business. That's when I was in the music industry. I
What did you
worked.
do what'd you do?
I sang, I rapped, I played guitar, I did a lot of different things. I've always been musically inclined. It's always been something that I always thought, oh, this is what I should do. I found out being in the music industry is not what people think it is at all. There's a lot of darkness in it, man. A
I bet.
lot,
I
a
bet.
lot. And you will lose your morals, you will lose yourself. You want to make that money, okay, this is what you're gonna agree to. And I refused against it. So I ended up stopping that, and that felt like a failure to me because I had to quit
Yeah.
something that I loved. And all of a sudden, I'll never forget. I had a friend of mine, one of my best friends. He passed away from an attachment, and this is also why I do what I do. He was 33 when he passed. This was 2 years before I started doing what I do now. Um, he looked just like me. He was like my twin, man. And go figure, my first angelic guide I ever worked with was Saint Michael. My best friend's name was Michael. Go figure, right? He had came back from Puerto Rico, man. It was after the hurricanes had hit out there, and he had family, and he went out there for 6 months. He was a struggling alcoholic. He sobered up. He cleaned himself up, and he came back, and he called me up, and he's like, "Hey, man, let's go disc golf." This is what we always did. Always went to disc golf. I was like, "All right, cool." And it was weird, man, because he was sitting there, and he was telling me, "Hey, man, I just want you to know I love you." Right? And I'm like,
Mm,
"I love you too, man. Like, what are you talking about?" And it was just like he was saying goodbye in
yeah.
a way. And 2 nights later, and this is what started my whole journey. It was actually everything that I realized that comes at me bad happens in threes. Everything comes in waves of threes. It can be something from something small to an extreme, but it happens in threes. And I'll circle back to him in a minute. The night before he passed away, I was in our apartment, and my wife's coworker lived across the apartments from us, right? Like there's a walkway, so it's like literally 50 feet separating. That's it. I had an Xbox headset on, and I heard this woman's voice scream, right? And I'm playing a game, and I could hear it coming. I'm like, what was that, right? Didn't hear it again. 20 seconds later, I hear the scream again. I'm not gonna not go look. Like if somebody needs help, I'm hearing that. There's no way I'm gonna sit here and not do anything. I walk outside, and mind you, it's 10:30 at night on a Saturday night. There's nobody around in these apartments, which is very, very rare, man, because usually there's people all over. There's nobody. And I walk outside, and it's my wife's coworker screaming. And I'm like, "Are you okay?" She goes, "Oh, I'm fine. It's my mom." And I see this woman sitting on the stairs. She had on a white shirt that was red. So I knew she was bleeding. Okay. She was super calm, like calm as could be, man. I go, "Man, are you okay?" She goes, "I think I got stabbed." So I
Huh.
looked for her. There's no stab wounds, right? I'm like, okay. She goes, no, I'm sorry. I got pushed. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, please don't think I'm crazy. I got pushed in something. There was nothing there. I believed her instantly. I knew exactly what it was. And makes sense of why this makes sense to me as well. There was a spigot, a water spigot on the side of the wall where she fell down the stairs. Her head ended up hitting it. Okay. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I got to find the bleeding. I have to.
Hmm.
He's bleeding too much. And I'm sitting there wrestling with her head to feel, and I could feel it. And I said, went into my house to the apartment. I told my wife, I said, give me some towels, please. She's like, what is going on? I said, don't worry about it. Just give me some towels. Because I knew if she would have seen it, she would have blah, screaming. So I was like, just let me take care of this. So I went and I put pressure on her head. And when I asked her a question, she talked, I felt her head start to shift. She fractured her skull. So I
Oh, wow.
instantly knew, okay, you have a
Whoa.
skull. Let me
Yeah.
help. And I just said, I'm going to sit here with you this whole time. We're going to be okay. Right. And I said, just calm down. She was beyond calm. EMS and them showed up about 10 minutes after the whole thing had happened. They showed up. They told me afterward, like, you saved her. If you would not, she would have died. She would have passed there on those steps. Um, and it was, I know she got pushed by something that was negative. I know it for a fact. I know it. That was meant for me. That was a test, as they would say. It wasn't from
Mm.
God testing me. That was from these things. Are you going to help this person? You know you heard the screams. You know you did. Are you going to help? If I would not have gone out there, she would have passed away.
Yeah.
It would have been on me. I would. All right. So I was like, okay. Next morning, I wake up and I have that dread feeling, right? Like when you know something bad is going to happen, right? I read Psalm 91 protection prayer every morning, and I said, Father, please protect me. I know something's going to happen. I know I'm going to be okay, right? And I'm driving to work. I'm on the highway going 70, and there's this truck in front of me with an extension ladder, right? It reminded me of Final Destination, man. Like I'm not kidding you. Like all of a sudden I look and he's about 200, almost 300, probably looks like about 6, 7 car lengths in front of me, right? But I see the back of this ladder is coming undone and it is about to come flying head level at me. I kid you not, time froze. I felt my hand get grabbed. They went, whoa. I went into a ditch. Ended up coming out. That extension ladder flew right off, directly in my path, exactly where it was. Hit. Oh my! I got to work. So, oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Like, thank you. I'm alive. Thank you. I was like, that was the bad thing. Now I get into work. My boss looked at me and goes, "You find out Mike died last night." What? Like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean? That broke me, man.
Yeah.
He ended up going out to a bar. He was depressed over his girlfriend that he told me it was an ex. She ended up taking her own life. She had a severe attachment. He blamed
Mm.
himself for years. He went to a bar. He got drunk, made it home, right? Made it home perfectly fine. He did a whippet off of an aerosol can, had an aneurysm, killed him right then and there. I will never forget that. And I made a vow to myself after that. Once I started really stepping, I will never lose somebody to an attachment ever again.
Hmm.
Then, was there anything I could have done then? No, because I didn't know what I know now and how
Yeah.
to do this and what I do. I didn't know what I knew. But that ended up happening. And then I started to really go, okay, Nathan, I went through a year of depression with that. It took me a year to get over that. Uh,
Mm.
I went out to the park where we were always at. And I remember when it was in the Texas summer heat, okay, no wind. It's like 98 degrees out. And I'm like, I'm sitting there and I'm having this conversation with him. And I'm talking out loud like I'm talking to you. He said, Mike, I can't do this anymore. I need to know you're okay, man. Please give me a sign. Give me something, man. All of a sudden the wind just started gusting, man. And I'm like, okay. And I heard his voice clear today. He goes, hey, get your shit together. Exactly
Yeah.
what he would tell me. He goes, I'm okay, man. He goes, I'm better than okay. Just know that you have a family, you have people depending on you. Get out, get your head out, and do what you need to do. I'm here with you every step of the way. I said, okay. And it then transitioned. I started then to go, okay, what can I do? Because then I had a spark. I was like, you're right. I'm not doing anything. My family doesn't deserve this. My wife doesn't deserve it. I don't deserve this. Like, what do I need to do? And I remember being on Instagram one day, and this made me laugh, man. Gary Vee, who's an amazing motivational speaker, right? he
Who, Gary
had,
V? Did you say
yes,
Gary V? Oh yeah, I
Gary
love
Vee.
Gary V's my boy, of course.
He's awesome, man.
Awesome.
And
He has
he
such a
had,
kind heart. That's why
yes,
even he's the Jersey cussing, whatever. That guy, we can change the face of business with what
he
he does.
loves people, man.
I
He
know.
loves people. Like that's the
Yeah,
type of people like yourself. Like that's the circle I want to be in to be able
100%.
to initiate change, and it will absolutely happen. But I remember he had a post that popped up on a thing. It was about TikTok, and he goes, "If you're not on TikTok right now, you're missing out on a golden swipe." Right? Don't want to hear an ad. Right? Swipe. Popped up again a minute later. We'll be watching a little bit more. Right?
When was this? When was
This
this?
was all. This will be 4 years ago
4 years
in
ago. Okay.
4 years ago in April. Will be 4 years.
Okay.
Um, yeah, March actually. And I swiped again. Third time it popped up after a minute. Right. I'm like, this. Okay. Let me just watch this. And it literally was like, if you're not on TikTok right now, you're missing a golden opportunity. If you have a niche, if you have something you love, make 3 posts a day. Post out. Be consistent. Right. And I was like, all right, let me do this. I heard my guides clear as day. Man, I'm so glad I did this. They told me, they said, before you open this account, tell your wife what you're going to use it for. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, you want me to like get permission? Or like, you don't have to. We're just suggesting to you, tell her. I said, okay, I will. So I did. I said, look, this is what I'm using this for. I want your support through this. If not, I'm not going to do it. Right. Like this, she absolutely supported me. The reason they did that is because once the account started to really garner and move after a month, for the first year, my following count was like 90% female,
Yeah.
10% male. I
Hmm.
set from the very beginning, though, my boundaries. I set from the very beginning. I'm married, happily married. I'm not here for any of this. I'm not here to flirt with you. I'm not here to any of that. I'm here to help those who find me. That is
Yeah.
it. But I
Well,
remember,
hey Nathan, I know that everybody knows about your super fine wife because I hear him talk about it all the time.
she is a blessing on a
She
blessing.
sounds like an amazing person. So
She is.
I've just heard multiple people say that. So that's why I said
Thank you.
that.
She's awesome, man, and she balances me very well. Like
Awesome.
she
Fantastic.
balances me very well. And leading in now, so I was about 35 when all this was starting to happen. Everything in about and mind you, I set myself a goal, and you talk about law of attraction, law of assumption, right? This is I
Hmm.
love
Hmm.
talking about that as well because it
Yeah.
works very well when you implement what's needed. And I gave myself a month for TikTok when I started. I said, Nathan, give yourself a month to get over 1,000 followers so you can go live. Because I couldn't go live, couldn't do anything until I had that, right? So I was like, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
How am I going to do this? And so I would make posts, and anybody that would comment on it, I would say, can I draw one card for you for free? I'm not asking for anything. Do it for free. All you got to do is give me your answer, your question you want, and I will write you out a full in-depth reading for what you wanted. And that's what I did for the first 3.5 weeks, right?
Yeah.
And my readings were extremely on point. But I had at the end of 3 weeks, I had only 65 followers, right? And it's 3 weeks out of 4 weeks left. You have 1 week left. What are you going to do, right? I did a reading for myself the next morning, and I'll never forget. I still have the cards, still have the same deck that I use. And he was, don't stress or worry if things seem to be a lot right now. I'm like, what does that mean? I opened up my TikTok. I had over 700 new followers in less than 6 hours. My account went viral. It blew up, and everything was moving great, right? A month, 1 month after all this, that's when the fire hit. That's when we went through the fire. That's when we lost everything. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Tell us about that. So 1 month
So,
after you hit your goal. So is
yep,
that right?
yep. 1 month. It was April 18th or 17th is the date of the fire. Um, I'll never
Real
forget
quick, before we get to that,
that. Hmm.
what would you say to someone that has a gift, they're an expert at something, and they're just afraid to go on social media to give themselves an opportunity for them and their family? What would you tell them right now?
One, I had to learn that in the very beginning myself too, because I've been called every name in the book. I've been called Timu Jesus, Devil Boy. I've been called everything you can think of, right? And the thing that I was telling you, you can call me anything you want. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for myself. One, and
Mm,
those who are actually in here that want to receive this, that want to learn, that want to grow, that want to heal. And I've always told people, you can be skeptical all you want. There is no problem being skeptical. You have all right to be. There are so many that say they do this, right? And they're full of it. It's
mm,
absolutely nonsense. But let's just have a conversation, right? So when people go, Nathan, how am I going to do a live? I don't know what to talk about. How am I going to do this? How am I going to be successful? First, you're preventing yourself from even taking the first step.
Mm-hmm.
You're telling yourself, I can't, I won't, I can't, I'm going to fail. That's exactly what's going to happen. But if you
Negative,
say,
negative, negative, negative,
yes,
negative, negative, negative,
absolutely.
negative.
How you feel internally, you project externally, as within, as without, right?
Yes.
And I
Yes.
talk about that extensively because it changes your life when you are able to understand it and you're able to apply it. But I have a lot of people in my community ask me, like, Nathan, I want to do lives. Then why aren't you? Right? You say you want to, why are you not? Well, you have requirements. So it's something that's preventing you. Well, I don't know how people are going to react to me. I don't know how they're going to take me. Good. It's okay. You don't need to know how they're going to react to you. You just be genuinely, authentically you. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. You just be you. You will bring in way more people that appreciate you and respect you versus those that are going to sit there and say anything negative towards you.
Mm-hmm.
It's that one. But that is, and it is, I tell them too, you are the one that runs your lives. It's not your community. It's not any person that comes in. It's you. If you don't
Yeah.
like somebody in there, get them out. If you don't like somebody's energy, get them out. You have all ability to run it. It's not the other way. A lot of us are used to being told what to do. A lot of us are
Mm-hmm.
used to being controlled or having manipulation. So when you actually have that control yourself, a lot of times people don't know how to do it. What do I do? What be you? Be you. And if it's something you don't like, remove it. Just
Mm-hmm.
remove it out. You have no issues with worries then. But it's like until you take that first step, nothing changes. And you'll notice after you do it the first time, oh, I like this. This was awesome. I helped somebody today. I actually genuinely helped somebody. They walked
Yeah.
away and they felt amazing for what I offered them. There you go. I will say as well, adding on to that as well, the first 6 months of doing lives, I did all free. I didn't charge a cent for the first 6 months. My
Yeah.
guides told me no. They said, you're not charging anything until we know you're ready, until you know you're ready. And then when they did, they said, now you can set your price. Don't be greedy. First, they said, don't be greedy.
Mm-hmm.
Don't short yourself. What am I? All right. And luckily, I found the perfect medium for that. My prices have been the same ever since. I've never increased them. I've kept them all the same. Even after 4 years of doing this, I've never once increased anything. I always do free giveaways. I always give back. Like it is
Yeah.
very important. Zephyr, close the door, son. Thank you. But it's very important that people know that they're appreciated. And that's like I said, people are, should I try this? What do you have to lose?
Yeah. I know. Right?
What do you have to lose, man? You have everything to gain. Nothing to lose. You're not going to lose anything. What are you going to lose? You didn't put money into it. You're not losing monetary, right? You're losing what? Time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. It's like run with it. Take the chance on you. Take the
Yeah.
chance on you. That's where it boils down to. Do you want things to change or do you want to keep it the same?
Yeah, exactly. And there's no question that you can connect with at least 1,000 people that can
Yep.
be your fans that agree with your trajectory in life or what you're an expert at. I always share with people, man, I was on TikTok live. There's some lady in her 70s. She's got 1,700 people in her live. She's making hundreds of dollars on gifts, right? All this stuff.
Yes.
She's teaching people cabbage recipes.
Seriously. No,
I
seriously.
know.
Yeah.
That's how simple it is. And I'm like, people,
Yep.
just give yourself a chance.
Be authentic and genuine with who you are. And that's such a good example because there's many that do that. They're like, why do so many people want? Because one, she's authentic, she's genuine, people like her energy. What? It feels like your grandmother. Like
Hmm.
literally, you feel like you're sitting with grandma. She's sitting there giving you recipes, man. Like, and
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, you are so afraid of taking that chance on you. That's where it boils down to. It's all these other extenuating factors are external, right? All of this is just not it's nonsense. It boils down to you. I don't think I can do this. Why? Well, I've been told throughout my life I'm not good enough, or I've been a failure, or this and that. You're not that. You're not that. What better time than now to adjust that thinking? What better time than now to adjust it into I am love, I am light, I am strength, I am worthy, I am presence. Where you are able to step fully ahead, knowing that what you're doing, you're protected, you're doing the right thing, you're doing it for the right intention, the right reasons, and it's a ripple effect. Then watch what happens with the people it comes across.
Yeah, for sure. Well, in a second here, we're going to jump into your growth on TikTok. I wanted to just circle back and tell you that, and the people that are listening, that my own experience is very parallel to yours. Timelines are a little bit different. Like I lost my best friend when I was 16 years old. He was killed by a drunk driver right in front of me at 80 miles an hour. It was not a pretty sight.
Ugh.
And it's something that by me learning to love myself, I was able to forgive myself for that situation. And I carried that pain for almost 40 years because I
Yeah,
felt somewhat responsible. And I was just visiting with him today. You know, I was just celebrating him. I was just telling him that I'm doing this live for him today because he couldn't be here because he sacrificed his life for the three of us, my other best friends. I truly believe that because there was four of us there. And
right,
he took it, you
right.
know? And guess what? He's in that place where he's like, "Hey man, I'm waiting for you guys. I'm happy and I'm happy I could do that for you, but still he didn't get to get the full life that he was supposed to have." And so I celebrate him every single day, and it's a really been a truly unlock for me with doing the process and working through those things. So
Right.
very very similar with that. And then I did the same thing with my social media. I had a furniture store, and I'm like, my furniture store's not making any money. What can I do? Social media is free. I found Gary Vee, start posting, start doing this. And then it brought me to here where I am now, which I never knew that that would happen. I don't have a furniture store anymore. You know, I have a
Right.
life coaching business. I'm not Cary the furniture guy. I'm Coach Cary. I'm
Cary,
Cary.
yep, Coach Cary, the life
And
coach.
God gave me love. And I realized that to spread to everyone else.
That's
You know,
amazing, man.
I remember being 4 years old at a retirement center visiting like a neighbor that had gone in there. My parents couldn't find me. And I had just had this vision the other day. I'm in some old lady's room sitting at her bed just talking to her, and I don't even know who she is.
Right,
And
right.
I was just born with that. And that's all these gifts I'm realizing that I have that I
Right.
get to bring forward to everyone else. So
That's amazing, man.
yeah, it's truly been a special journey, for
Absolutely.
sure. So I'm so glad to get to talk to you. So let's talk about, you got 1,000 followers,
Yeah, let's talk
and
about
this
the
was
fire.
4 years ago. And then let's fill in some blanks for us.
Let's talk about the fire, man.
Oh yeah, okay,
That's where the hospital and the fire are the two big parts of my life that changed everything. The
okay,
old parts of me, I fully believe died in that fire. It's a rebirth for me.
okay,
It was 10 o'clock at night, and we were about to go to bed. The boys, Zeppelin, we had three children at the time. We had Zeppelin, who was 6 months old. We had Autumn, who was a year and a half. And we had Aubrey, who was about six. My wife was pregnant 6 months, right? So that just give you a little overview. And we were in the bathroom. She was taking a bath, and I was doing she was wanting to do a meditation. And right when we were about to do that, she heard a sound, and it sounded like a crackling sound, like a popping noise. She goes, "What was that?" And I was like, "Oh, it's probably cats." She goes, "No, what was that?" Thank God she said that because I went up and went to go look. We're on a second story apartment. Okay. So when I'm walking through the hallway, it looks like the sun is on my patio. I kid
oh
you not.
gosh,
Like this
wow,
huge, and can't process what I'm looking at.
yeah, I bet,
I'm walking towards like I'm gonna open the door. Right? Like I don't know what I'm looking, and then all of a sudden the glass imploded. It went boom and
wow.
exploded in the apartment. Went, got my wife, ran, got Autumn, got the other kids under one arm. She had the other ones, got them out. Um, I went back into that fire 8 different times. We had two cats that
So was the side of the building, was the side of your apartment on fire?
no. It was a whole entire inside of our building only. Okay, it's weird. This is
Oh
weird.
wow, okay,
Oh, let's listen. This was weird, man. I ended up going back in. We had two cats. We had Apollo and we had Morrison. Those cats were everything to us, man. They saved us in the beginning. We lost them in that fire, but I ran
wow,
in there 8 times to go get them. 8 times. I had no fear of being burned. I had no fear of dying. I had no fear of any of it. And it wasn't like I was out of my mind where it was just like, oh, you're having a break, a mental break where you're just putting yourself in none of it. Very clear, very lucid, very conscious. And the eighth time, last time I ran in there, I'll never forget this. I'm standing in the living room and the floor, the roar of the fire, I've never heard anything that loud in my life. It was deafening how loud it was. But the floor started going, boom, boom, boom. I'm standing on it, right? And I'm like, the floor's about to go out. That's what's about to happen. The floor's about to go out.
yeah.
And as soon as I'm about to step to move out, the ring of fire went around me. A complete ring of fire, complete circle. Saw it completely. I'm like, okay. And then I heard Johnny Cash. I went down, 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 the ring of fire. Right? And I'm like, what is happening? They said, my son, everything's going to be okay. Walk out. I walk out. There is 600 people standing outside of my apartment watching the flame. The flames were 25 feet in the air. I didn't know it was this big. I didn't know it was that bad. And by the grace of God, God is so good, man. There was no wind that night because they had no fire precautions in the vents that were up above for anybody. So if it wind would have blown at all, it would have probably 30 people would have died that night because it spread so quick. Ours was the only apartment that was completely destroyed. Okay. Nobody
Mm.
else's. My downstairs neighbor just had a little bit of smoke damage. Go figure. My next door neighbor had a little bit of smoke damage and fire damage from them. We lost everything. When I talk
Mm.
about everything was gone, man. Um, and I end up looking at all these people are standing around looking. I've never seen these people before. Never seen them, right? They are all were practitioners of black magic. All of them. Kid you not. Every single one of them. They said it themselves. Wasn't me just looking at them going, oh, that's what you do. They practiced Santa Muerte, they were doing hoodoo, there was voodoo. Then you also had occultic, deeper practices that these, and I knew it. Like I said, my family was involved with a lot of that. And I remember having this conversation with my wife the day of the fire. We were talking about moving. We're like, what are we going to do with all these objects that we have? These everything that we have was from my mother. Everything that we had, she hexed every single thing. It was not the I couldn't take it. The fire happened that night. Fire happened that night. Go figure, right? Next day, man, I go over to the apartment because I was like, I need to go search to see if there's anything left. Anything, right? Apartment tried giving me a hard time, which they also falsified my insurance claim, which I proved. I got my insurance payout. They forged my wife's signature. Yeah. Yeah, go figure, right? So I went into the apartment. This is how God's so good, man. I went in, there's about 3 foot of just soot everywhere. It's how much stuff got burned. And I walked into the bathroom where we were. I dug down. I found our wallet that had our IDs, that had our bank cards were still good. Our children's social security that was paper, right? It was in the kitchen where everything was torched. Were still in the folders unburned.
Oh, nice.
Unburned. Every single one of my Oracle decks, my tarot decks, my Sigil decks, everything that I had, was like 50 of them in there. Not one of them was burned. Oh, one. When people go, oh, they're evil. Really? If it was evil, it would have been torched. It would have been gone. Okay.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh, sorry. My guitar that I had as well, bought that 2 days before. So my guitar, our bank cards, everything we needed, I was able to get out. And for a month, we were in a hotel after that, which you got to mind you, that our business had just started with Etsy as well. We had just started Etsy business. Our first week, people go, oh, Etsy business had to be incredible, amazing the first week. I said, we made $78. That was a blessing. That proved
Yeah.
that we can do this. We can do this. Oh my God, people bought products. They liked the product. We can do this. That was a very, very proud moment for myself and my wife. And she was able to quit her corporate job, which she has not ever gone back to since I
Oh,
started.
great.
Yeah, she's been able to stay home with me for the past 4 years. She's able to do what she has time to be a mom. She has the time to be a business partner. Like she has time to do that. And it then came down to we got our insurance payout. We ended up getting that. And it was like, we're not tied down anymore. We can go anywhere we want. Let's figure out a place we can go. Because I didn't want to be by
Yeah.
my family. My family was causing problems. I didn't want to be by my family. So West Virginia popped up out of nowhere. I didn't know anybody in West Virginia. Don't know anybody out here. Ended up finding a place, right? This how I know God brought me to this place for a reason, man. The place that we found was a beautiful farm, 200 acres, right? Beautiful farm, beautiful place to rent out. However, it was 8 miles off the grid. Okay, they didn't tell me that part. They didn't tell me that I'd have satellite internet. They didn't tell me all that stuff going backwards, basically, right? From what I had. And so
Yeah.
we drove 24 hours, got out there. I had $1,000 left in my name. That was it. Couldn't go back, right? I had electricity on, I had no internet, I had no cable, nothing out there. So and I'm like, what did I screw up, man? Did I screw up? Like, I just brought my family out here. I don't have, and instead of having that thought of, did I screw up? I said, God, I know you got me. Let me tell me what I need to do, and I'm going to do it. And sure enough, it was the best year we had ever had business wise. It was the
Mm.
best year we ever had. And it was because it was able to make something out of nothing. You see, oh, it's
Mhm.
negative, now turn that into a positive. And it manifested this home that we're in, exactly what I wanted for 8 months straight. And I got exactly what I wanted when it came up. So, and now it's transitioning to the point of traveling, doing stuff, getting to be able to go in person, doing live conferences, stuff
Nice.
like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That is fantastic. So let's talk about your TikTok blow up, like how that and any other social medias that you want to say that you're on. Let's address that. And then also let's get into what you can teach people, what you're doing on social media, what you're doing with the cards, what you're doing with the flame, and let's get into some of that.
Absolutely. So TikTok for me is the main platform I'm on YouTube as well. Same name, Nathan Charity on there. But TikTok is what I've stayed on. I don't use Instagram. I don't use Facebook. I don't use any of the ones. I've stayed directly with TikTok because it was organic growth, one. And on top of that, I've sat down with people that work at TikTok. I've sat down and talked to them with their AI stuff. Like they're good people to work with is one thing I've also realized as well is there's a way to work with them versus all these other ones that good luck, right? Good luck. The first month though, man, like I said, the first 3 weeks, I was consistent. I was consistent. 3 posts a day, making it of what I love to talk about. Hey, let me do a positive post about positive quote or something of the sort that really means something to me that I can share with somebody. And then it said, Nathan, why are you going to read quotes? You are the quote. Stop reading quotes. And one of the quotes that you'll hear me tell a lot of people will say this. I will tell you all the time, I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. And I will always tell you, you're an amazing soul. Because sometimes that's all we need is to have somebody go, hey, you know what? I see you. I'm proud of you. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Nothing more. Just knowing that validation coming through and getting that. And about the first month that my TikTok started to go up, like I said, I had hit 50, almost 50K following in less than 4 months. And it
Okay.
was because it was moving. I realized, however, once I hit about, let's say 65K following about a year in, right? About 65K, 70K following. I speak truth, man. I speak truth to help people. They don't like that.
I know.
Don't like it at all. They
I
do not.
know.
They suppress the lives. They will suppress. I will have people come in and get yeeted out, get kicked out, and they're like, Nathan, my whole TikTok shut off. I had to relog back in. I'm like, I don't, there's nothing I can do about that. But it's what I speak about.
Yeah.
It's what I talk about. I give people tools, multiple different ways that you can utilize to your own knowing. That will change your life for the better. It's not me saying, oh, this is the only way you can do it, this, or that. And they don't want that. They want people stuck. They want people stagnant. They want people just to be obeyed, basically. Like that
Well,
old
that's
movie.
the system in general, right? Of of
Yes.
of of whoever quote is in charge, whatever you want to
Right.
look at that.
Right. I think they're all both in the same party together. All of them. As I've always told people, the presidents, all this, a lot of them are puppets for what goes on behind the scenes. The people that have
Yeah.
the true money that are running everything.
Yeah.
But it's like, what's the easiest way to divide people? Through politics, through religion, through these different things. Like they know what they're doing. They know what
Yeah.
they're doing. And I tell people, I say, they want you to do, man. Like when you're gonna see past that and
Mm-hmm.
understand it's not any of that. None of that. That's not the problem. They're the problem. But yet they have it all where we turn on each other and then people wonder why nothing changes. Goes in right with that. That's where I said, hey, then you're gonna be a voice to implement change.
Yeah. Well,
That's
and divided we fall. Divided
yes,
we all fall.
absolutely. And
United
it's
we are together, but divided no one's gonna win.
absolutely. I agree completely. And with TikTok, TikTok started people going, Nathan, how did you turn it into a business? Like, what do you do? I don't ask for gifts. If you notice, when I'm on my lives, I don't ask for gifts. I don't ask my
Hmm.
community to gift me because I do paid services.
Yeah.
So with my paid services, but I've always told people too, when you get a service from me, especially if it's during my live, right? Let's say if you go, hey Nathan, how is my relationship? Blah blah blah. One, you should know that answer already. If you're questioning the relationship already, and you're having these thoughts, that's a
Yeah.
conversation you need to have with that person and address it, or you already know the answer. But it's like being able to, I said, what makes me different, man? What makes me different? I don't want to do just cards. Like I don't want to do just tarot cards. It's not that
Yeah.
doesn't interest me. So what makes me different? And I do 13 different types of readings during my lives. I have 7 different private readings to offer as well. There's no type of reading that I will refuse. You will have some people say, oh, I won't do this, or I won't do health, or I won't do that. I have no problem doing it. But I've always told people this, well, I am not God. I cannot tell you if you're going to beat cancer. I cannot. Is there stuff that we can do to help though that can input?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Holistic healing 101 has been known to cure cancer. It's been proven. So there's different ways. So, and I've always told people too, man, what makes you different? What makes you uniquely you?
Hmm.
Run with that. If you're not in a good mood, don't do a live, right? That's what it does. If you're not having a great day, probably don't get on and do a live stream.
Well, I want to say something with that real quick is on Friday or no, on Saturday morning, I'm about 95% from the cold I had, but Friday I was down. I did not do my live and I had, a podcast I was supposed to shoot that afternoon and I just was down. So I didn't do anything. And on Saturday, I don't normally go live on Saturday. And I was like, I got to jump on for a little bit. And you, my friend, you supported me in a way that I was really struggling. Like I didn't have the energy to be in that live and I probably shouldn't have been in there. And I was kind of wanting to pull the ejector handle a couple times, but you being in there, I could feel your energy in there and in the frequency of you in there supporting me. And you are what helped carry me through that live. So I just wanted to tell you that it was a really great example of frequency and energy and how you can support someone else because it made a huge difference for me.
Oh man, anytime,
Yeah.
anytime, man.
It was, and I'm not normally like that, but because I usually have all the energy, but being sick is a great example of, hey, this is an example of people who are depressed and sad and lonely. This is how they feel all the time, Cary.
Absolutely.
I'm showing you
You know
this so
what's
you can
ironic?
understand that.
You know what's ironic with your illness that you went through? So I had a severe mouth infection for the past week and a half, where I'm talking about it was almost septic, like septic as bad as in the roof of my mouth, which was not from a tooth, right? My birthday's Christmas Eve. My mother tends to do this stuff to me every type of year. She tries to do things, send
Oh, got
stuff.
it.
And so I had to spend a lot of money on my car, which I got fixed, which money's money, man. I don't care. It's whatever. My health more than anything. And after like the third day, my face had gotten so swelled. I looked like Picasso. Half of my right side of my face was drooped down. Looked like I had a stroke, man. Like it did not look good. And I was like, I was going to do a live, and my guys were like, don't do that. They're going to look at you and they're going to be like, are you okay? You look like you
Hmm.
had a stroke. And I was going to go to the urgent care the next day. That's when a snowstorm hit. Big winter storm hit. Everything's closed, right? I'm trying to sleep that next night, and I'm in excruciating pain. I was passing out from pain. Excruciating
Mm.
pain. I had a hard time swallowing. That's how I knew something wasn't good. I was having a hard time swallowing. And I heard my father's voice clear, get up, get up, get up, get up, get up on repeat, man. And I'm like, what am I doing? I got up and he goes, you need to take care of this. What do you want me to do? I had to get tweezers. I had to end up doing it myself. Let me tell
Oh.
you, man, I passed out the first two times. Passed out on the ground, ended up getting up. And the third time was a charm. Ended up, and then within 2 days, everything's healed now. They
Oh,
healed me.
wow.
Oh, they healed me. I ended up getting a healing from them. I saw it clear as day. They said, can we heal you? Yes, please.
Nathan, when you hear, uh, is it internal? Is it external voice? Can you explain that to people when you
So a
hear?
lot of it is going to be internalized at first. Do I hear it externally at times too? Yes. Is it as frequent? No, not as frequent as all. That would be more of like a rare anomaly that happens when you hear like a disembodied voice or even a voice that you hear clearly. Hello there. I see you, or they say your name, right? A
Mm.
lot that takes a lot of energy manifested to make that come across. And a lot of times spirit, when they don't have that much to be able to do it. Now the question would come in then, how do we know what we're receiving is a message?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
is it your own knowing? Right?
Great. Perfect.
Okay. So, and I explain this a lot as well. One of the first things that my guides had for me is they go, your ears ring a lot, don't they? I go, yeah, my left ear rings a lot, my right ear, especially when I start talking to people, when I just random people I know, doesn't matter, right? I'm like, what does this signify? The left ear is your spirit guides and angelics, right ear is ancestors and loved ones. I said,
Okay.
okay, I can understand that. But I go, this is not going to work for me. And they go, why? I said, do you know why? I overanalyze and question everything. Like I will sit there and be like, oh, my ears are ringing. Does it mean I'm getting a message? Is it me? What is this? Right? And they go, what do you suggest? Oh, what I get to pick. Okay, let me think about this then real quick. because I had this conversation with my guys. It was about 2 weeks after the fire happened, and I did a live, right? I was getting drained, man, left and right, left and right, left and right. And I had sitting there talking to my guides, and I go, listen, I'm feeling everybody. I need to know how I can just have a clear channel. I just need a clear channel where it's just you guys. I said, my ears ringing is not enough. I thought about it though, and I said, as soon as my ears ring, if it's a message from you, can you jolt me with goosebumps from the top of my head down to my feet within 3 seconds? Then I'll know every single time. If that happens, that's a message from you. And they said, sure, we can do that. I said, okay. I did my live, the next live. That's exactly what happened. I was doing readings, my ears ring, and then all of a sudden I would get a download instantly. And I knew, or my ears would ring, but I wouldn't get that jolt afterwards, right? That was my discernment right there I was able to utilize. That took out all self-doubt. That took out everything of, is this real? Is this not real? Am I going through a psychosis? Am I schizophrenic? Am I any of these? No. You're in tune, you're balanced, you're aligned. There is nothing of anything of a negative on that. You are exactly where you're needing to be at. But that helps me immensely. Same thing with automatic writing. When you're able to use yourself as a vessel to write, all you have to do, Saint Michael, Jesus, whoever it is that you would like, can you please write through me with the message you want me to receive? Well, then what happens if I'm thinking about it at first? That's the same question I asked. I asked my, I said, what if I think about what I'm writing, right? And they're like, stop thinking so much. Just start writing. So you can think for the first few sentences. You have to. You have to be able to start, correlating a thought. But then when you do that flow state, as they would call it, all of a sudden you can go back and read it, what you wrote. You might have glyphs. You might have sigils. You might have certain wordings, questions that you have not had answered for a very long time. And you go, I didn't know any of this. What is this from? Something higher than ourselves. Yes. That's what we're able to different. It works differently for different people on what gifts they want to utilize more. If you're more of, you absorb everything in through energy, right? Highly empathic, which a lot of us are. The best way to be able to do that then is to be able to have them jolt you with goosebumps, because you're going to feel it. My ears ring, goosebumps. I feel it. I got chills. Okay. I got a message.
And I feel like most people, that's probably the easiest thing to feel, is to be an empath.
Yes.
It's like the thing that's not covered up by the trauma of everyday life and all the distractions, it seems like, because I know a lot of people that have those feelings and are unable to do that. What I'm feeling right now, Nathan, is I want to know about your fee structure and how you're helping people, what you charge. I want to know about your flame. I want to know about the knowing some more. There's a lot of things I want to know about, and I'm feeling like we're going to have a part two to this podcast, and we can go ahead and just start where we left off. But right now, I would love for you to tell everybody about whatever your products are, what you charge, and those types of things, so that people can kind of understand. And hopefully, we can get some more people working with you and get your following up some more, and just you spread more love and light, which I love to say that. I say love and light to everybody all the time.
Yes, absolutely, man. So my fee structure that I do during my lives, people go, oh, how much are your readings? My readings are only $30. My candle activations I do, which is like a $500 service, I only charge $30 for. My workshops I do on Zoom every Sunday, I charge $30 for. So I do about an hour and a half workshop, like we're doing the Emerald Tablets right now. So I go through, I read the Emerald Tablets with them, and I break it down.
Well, can you slow down just a little bit? You're doing what?
Emerald Tablets on the workshops. So
and what is that?
And the knowledge and history of Thoth, the great Egyptian, the scribe of all scribes. Hermetics also is involved with that as well. The seven principal teachings of Hermetics. So I do workshops every Sunday. We just did the Book of Enoch for the past 2 months. I went every Sunday. We went through the whole Book of Enoch, read it all, completely broke it down.
And what is the Book of Enoch? I know I've heard it before. Was in the Bible. Is that right?
It was in the Bible, and
it was taken out.
Yes, and it is an incredible book of knowledge. So, for example, I'll just give you 2 things off of that, and I'll go right back to what we were talking about.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so
sir.
You had Thoth, and you also had Enoch. Enoch was taken up to heaven before he passed. He was the only human that could do this, and nowadays the church, that's not possible. That's why they don't talk about that, because that cannot be done, right? Enoch was taken up by Uriel. Archangel Uriel was taken up, and what he describes as what we would call a ship. Okay, same as a ship, getting taken up in a ship. Okay, Thoth said the same thing in his tablets. Same things. When the fall of Atlantis happened is when the great flood happened. Go figure. Noah with the Ark and Atlantis, they both felt at the same time. There's a correlation between that nobody's talked about yet. I don't know what it is. I will find out. There's a correlation between those. But Thoth also said, I was taken up by the great master in a ship that rose above the morning.
Mm.
They both of them, ancient texts talking about a ship taking them up into the heavens. Now, that would talk about, they go into talking about nowadays UFOs and so forth. And I've always said this, well, people consider aliens, I look at it as angels and demons. It's all frequency.
Mhm.
It's frequency. So but going through, we do workshops every Sunday. I've done workshops, I've done 110 now over the past 2 years. I do them every
Oh,
Sunday.
nice.
We have done stuff from going over demonics, from infernal demonics to learning how to protect yourself, ground yourself, learning different types of energy, vibrations, learning how to actually do certain type of divine magic, not black magic, not stuff that can cause you anything, but utilizing source light and going through it that way. I like to teach a multitude of different things.
Okay.
And one thing I've done is make sure to keep it all the same price. Keep it all $30. I do have private sessions that I offer that they start off at 100 and they go up to 200. I don't charge any more than that. Those are hour sessions depending on what you're wanting. I am
Okay.
extremely well known for cleansings. That is what I am known for. If you are afflicted by something that's negative, could be an attachment, could be an egregore thought form, any of these things. That is what I'm known for. I've done over 2,500 cleansings in the past 4 years. I absolutely eat, sleep, breathe this. And
Okay.
I've also explained to people too, just because you deal with anxiety, depression, anger, fear, does that mean that you have a demonic attachment? No. No. How many people, though, do you see that do readings, right? They have somebody come in. Let's say you come into my life and I'm one of those people, right? And you come in and you say, hey, brother, I'm having just a little bit of a rough day, having a little bit of anxiety, but oh, you got it.
Mm.
You have a demon, sir. You understand? You need to spend $900 with me or $2,000. They're not clients. I call mine are extended family. My community is extended family. I do not call
Yeah.
them clients. I don't call them any of that. It's extended family. I've had many come to me. I've had one person spend over $15,000 with some person that scammed them. I've
Mm.
had multiple spend over $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 for cleansings to get these things removed, right? They spend $200 with me. They've not had an attachment since. Their life has only gotten better, and it's a new start. And I tell them all the time, I've been through what you're going through.
Mhm.
I understand. I know what it's
Yeah.
like to feel alone. I know what it's like to feel nobody believe you. I know what it's like to deal with these things on your own. So when you actually have somebody that can help you, I will do that. And I've had conversations with priests, many priests, man, that have sat down. And it's a funny story I'll share with you. I had a gentleman in person. Okay. I didn't plan on this, right? Guy came up to me. This is what happens. Random people come up to me and talk to me.
Sure.
They come and
Well, they
talk.
feel your frequency. They're like,
Yes.
what is going on with this guy? I want to see what's up with this.
Absolutely. And this guy, he had a severe attachment. I could see it on him. I could see it. I was standing right behind him. I could see it. And it was messing with him. And I go, can I help you? And he goes, yeah. And he started explaining his life. I was like, can I pray for you? So I asked him, can I pray for you? He goes, please do. Right. So I put one hand on his shoulder, and I removed it from him. Removed
Mm.
it from him. And he went, he took me to his church that was right down the road. And he saw his father's priest. And he goes, Father, I don't know what this man did to me. And I'm like, what is going on? And he goes, I don't know if he put a demon in me. Wait, what? Well, hold on a second, right? The priest looks at him and he goes, how do you feel? I feel 100 times better. Then how did he put a demon in
Exactly.
Thank you. And priest goes, you have to understand, he walks in a divine light as I do. He just doesn't have a collar or robe, and he's not tied to the church. He is a walking church.
Yeah.
Amen to you, Father. Thank you for that. And he goes, we do things a little differently, but it's all in the same right instance. I said, I appreciate that more than anything. Like having that understanding, because that's where a lot of people don't have that understanding or knowing. What did you do to me? You helped me? No, it must be bad because I don't understand it. Or they've been told these things. I absolutely love what I do. It's cleansings.
Mm.
And I've had severe cases with children with full-on possessions to elderly full-on possessions to you name it. I have stories upon stories with that because people don't understand it until they think it's just some sci-fi Hollywood thing that's made up. And I'm like, no, people are seeing it for themselves now. People are seeing it for themselves and they're going, this stuff is real. This stuff
Yeah.
is absolutely, it's very real. And when you have the ability of having somebody get freed from that, that's why I do this. That's why I do this. If I don't have to do cards, I don't cards, pendulums, all that. I just like to use them for divination, just to show people there's different ways of doing it. I don't need any. You
Mm-hmm.
are your own book. You are the card. You are the pendulum. It's you. It's not any of these things externally that we need. It's just to show, hey, look, right? And once I started doing cleansings, that's where it became. I remember doing my first one, and people asked me, Nathan, how do you do it? You do it online. How do you do it on Zoom? Because I use Zoom sessions. It's an hour
Yeah.
session on Zoom. And they're
Yeah.
like, how do you do this? And I explain to them everything I do. I go through the prayers that I read with them. I utilize Solomon's text. I go through the very, very powerful invocation prayer. But I've told people all the time, it's your voice is the key. Okay. I am merely just an extension, a branch from source. I am not God. I am very humbled and grateful that they chose me to be a voice more than anything, because I've always asked, why me? Why not you? So when I do cleansings, that source that speaks through with the cleansing. That's not me. Nathan, the person, is not cleansing you. God is. It's not me. And I've always given all glory to the Most High. And I'll tell them, I said, you will feel this release while we do this. It's not going to be me telling you it's broken, it's gone. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel the heat here. You might feel this here. You're going to feel this here. And then I'll go through it and everything and go, oh my God, I can breathe. Oh
Mm-hmm.
God, this is different. Oh, what happens now? Whatever you would like. It's a brand new start for you. And I will say, out of all the cleansing I've done, I've only had 2 people come back that had to get another cleansing because of the environment that they ended up living in. When you
Mm-hmm.
put yourself in something of an environment or around negative, negative, negative for 3 weeks to a month, you get to, like you talk about, how you feel internally, you're going to project externally, and all of a sudden you're going to bring stuff in.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
That happens. Yep.
Is that part of why you read Psalm 91 every day?
Yes.
The
Yep.
protection?
I
Yeah.
read that the day that when I woke up in the hospital.
Okay.
Psalm 91 was one of the, I turned to it and I love the prayer. It's a beautiful prayer.
So we're definitely going to have a part 2 because there's a lot of stuff I really still want to talk to you about. Like,
Yes.
I think when we do the part 2, maybe we could have the flame too, and you could
Yeah.
try to
Yeah.
talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
that a little bit. I think that'd be
Absolutely.
really
Man.
cool for people.
Yes.
And I have a lot more questions. I haven't even really gotten to any of the questions I wrote down because I knew this is exactly how this was going to go.
I've enjoyed this, man. This has
Yeah,
been a
but
great time.
I do want to plug, so Nathan the Tarot Reader on
Yes.
TikTok and
And
YouTube,
YouTube. Yes.
and
And
we'll
then our
get that
Etsy shop.
and we'll get that posted on here when we post this.
Awesome.
So that's awesome. I want to wish you and your family an amazing Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays.
Thank
And
you.
I
Same
want to
here.
finish with one thing, Nathan.
Hmm.
What do you say to someone that says that God doesn't exist?
That's such a hard, that to me is so hard to even try to fathom that
It
thought
is,
of.
right? I know.
How do you not believe in anything?
No,
How
how
do
did
you not? How was anything created? How was the
Yeah.
first thought, conscious thought created? How was the first any of this, right? Oh, well, no, science can only go back to a certain point. Okay. There's things that were here waiting for us.
Yeah. I had one guy describe it like this that I saw on social media the other day. He's like talking to someone. He said, so you're telling me that after you die, there's nothing and that you came from nothing.
Yep. Right.
How is that possible?
How is that possible?
It's not
It's
possible.
not possible, man. And then those same people, though, you'll notice usually at a point in their life they have an awakening. I call it a remembrance. You'll hear people say awakening. You're not walking through life blind. You're starting to remember who you are. It's when you start correlating into the right frequency. That is the key with everything. But I've never understood people that have never had a faith in anything. Their God doesn't exist. God is earth. And how are we here?
Yeah,
How did we come about?
exactly.
Right? Like I'm just all of a sudden out of just nothingness. I'm just here. Then when I die, I'm nothingness again. Like what? It makes no sense.
No, yeah,
None.
that's not possible. And that's some stuff that I want to dig into on the next podcast.
Yes.
Is definitely dig into a little bit more deeper side of the spirituality component. I think
Yes.
it would be really, really beneficial for a lot of people to hear. And especially, for me being a born again Christian just in February and remembering, like you said, and
Yes.
remembering that God has always been with me,
Absolutely.
he always been with me, and I'm so glad that I've been able to wake up and be able to remember and really trust and lean on my
Yes.
spirituality in the tough times.
And
Because
you're impacting people in a positive way. Do you see what's
ex-
happening? Like that's you're following what is a passion for you,
hmm
and now your light is going to shine to many others. That's like
yeah,
I said. Like I can tell everybody else, Mr. Cary, I'm very proud of you. Be very
thank you.
proud
I'm
of you.
proud of you. And when do you go live for everyone?
Usually I go live at nighttime around 10 p.m. Eastern time at nights
Okay.
because I have, when I'm home with the kids, I have private sessions a lot of time during the day. So I have to take care of the business stuff in the morning. The Etsy shop, Spiritual Boundaries. If you
Oh
guys
yeah.
check that out, it's in my link in my profile as well. But Spiritual Boundaries, we have tinctures, we have sprays, we have private sessions. We do all custom enchanted bracelets, pendulums as well. There's over 2,500 reviews. It's a 5-star shop. So please go check out quite a few of those stuff in there. We have amazing things. And like I said, I've absolutely enjoyed this. This was a pleasure for me to be able to sit down and thank you for the opportunity in the first place to even do this. It's an honor to me that I know I was scheduled to be number 2, but it happened to come out to be number 1. It's an honor to me. I'm very humbled and I'm very grateful. And I was like, hey, that's a big, big opportunity for the both of you to be able to really just showcase what you love
hmm
to do, helping people, and set the tone for your podcast. I say, man, perfect. What
Yeah, that's it's truly been a blessing talking to you. With that being said, thank you so much. Happy holidays to your family, and I really look forward to speaking with you again.
absolutely.